talk about. Good evening, Talking Sharp After Dark. This is Tina, Mama T, whatever you want to call me. I got two special guests tonight, and I have one that is an OG, and I have one that is a young G. And this topic is going to be about how our OGs have dropped the ball and why our young folks entering bad relationships. And it's because our OGs have dropped the ball. So, welcome everyone. This is going to be pretty fun. We're going to have some fun with some conversation, some truth saying, and we're going to see if we can at least get to the bottom of this. And maybe you guys that's out there watching, you might can learn something, pick up on something, or have a question. And by all means, you can send me a text, you can comment, you can like and subscribe, and we can go forward. And I'll come back and give you as much jewels that we can give. All right. Well, let's start here. I'm gonna say we got TJ down below, and we got MS up top, OG to young G, and why our young folks entering bad relationships. So let's start with an OG. Well, if I ask you this question, sir, why would you think our young folks are entering into bad relationships?
Well, I think we didn't, as a parent, we haven't sat down and talked to them about in a relationship. I know when I was their age, um, my parents they didn't have the opportunity or they didn't know how to talk to me about a relationship. So it was trial and error for me. So it was more error than trial. I want to say so because I was into relationships. And first thing first, what I learned was that hey, if I get in a relationship, I would like to meet the parents. That makes a big difference because you would know where that person is going based off 90% of the time. You would know where that person
Right,
is going. You already know what type of characteristics that person's going to have because you met the parents. Now,
right,
if their parents have good traits, good um, values, and more than likely that child is going to have, or that person is going to have good values. You know. Now, if you met the parents and the parents like it's off the chain, and they're doing everything up under the sun that um, a parent should not be doing. Uh,
mm,
More than likely, that person that you're dating is going to be more similar, have the same characteristics as that parent has. And I saw that in my years of dating, and I ignored it. I didn't know uh, to the degree how true it was going to be. But after years went by, I found out,
yeah,
hey, that person I was dating was just like the parents. Years later, so but I didn't have the wisdom at the time, you know, and my parents didn't they didn't school me about that. I didn't they didn't I don't think they knew how to have a conversation with me about dating. I think that's what it was. So
okay.
that kind of
I
carried
can
on
relate.
through my experience with my relationship
Right.
and my
You know
relationship
what?
with my kids. You know what I mean?
Right. I can relate the same thing for me as well. And I think you're hitting on something that's right on top. Um, and maybe it might be because our parents was the baby boomers or whatever, and they just didn't know how to relate, and they just tell you no and wait till you get married. But there's a thing before marriage is dating and how to conduct and what to look for and the warning signs in relationships if this is a match for you, because you don't want to be so unequally yoked in dating, and just going on to it just to say that you have a significant other or someone that you really like, and but yet you see these warning signs. So I too went through that same thing growing up, and I think it's our OGs not really explaining. So today, that's why we're having this topic. It's because I thought it would be a great topic to help our young folks that's growing up to be young ladies and gentlemen, and they're trying to date, and before they in their early 20s, hoping to get married, and find out that this is a toxic relationship, or while they're in a relationship and not with marriage, and they still in a toxic relationship. There's to me, there's a such thing as the writing on the wall. I do remember my mom telling me about you got to look for the writing on the walls when you're dealing with people, and the way how I was raised could be totally different how you was raised. But if our morals and ethics and standards are somewhat on the same page, it's not going to always be perfect, but at least we have somewhat of we care enough. For first and foremost, we may have God in our life, or you might be the type that don't. But at least we're on the same page in that respect. So know that there's certain limits to do in a relationship, right?
That's
So
true.
my question is to one of my young G's that's on this platform with us. Do you think that's a bit too much for young folks and they don't really want to do it, and that's why they into a bad relationship and they wondering how they got there? Or do you think that this will be a good topic to have for our young G's to listen to help them to better in a relationship? Mr. TJ?
Uh, it all depends on the person. That's really what it comes down to. It
Yeah.
all depends on the person. It ain't like a group. Like you can see it as a group of people. Everybody got their own perspective about that. So
Okay.
it's really hard to say.
Well, I understand that it is hard to say, but I'm noticing um, in my classroom settings and everything that it's a lot of young folks are having relationship problems. So there is a problem, and I would like to address it to help. So even if just asking you, all you can say is it depends upon a person, and that's what young folks do because I guess maybe they shy away from this type of topics, but this topic is very important. Would you say, OG?
It's very important. It is. It's something that has to be addressed because if not, our kids is gonna go into bad relationships. They're gonna have bad experiences, and we don't want them to get caught up. You know, and I've seen relationships where their partner has pretty much took them away from us. You know, like we still might be in communication with them, but it's only for a certain a limit. So they don't have a they don't want to start talking to us about everything. They hide a lot now, and that's because they're
Right,
in a not so good relationship. You know,
right.
so
Because if
you have to
if
be
you
equally yoked with that person to
mhm,
like be in a in a
mhm,
in a good healthy relationship. If not, things like
right,
that's going to happen. They're going to pull away from the immediate family, and they're going to do their thing.
right,
If it was a relationship that they would be proud of, they wouldn't have any problem with opening it up to us. But you
right.
can see those signs. You can see those signs.
You can see those.
Hmm.
So, young G, do you think um, that the young folks stray away from having this topic because they are aware that they already in a relationship that it may be questioned?
Uh, some people love drama. Some people don't. Some people already know, and they already got their mindset that they too deep in. And some actually enjoy the ride.
Okay. So you're being very general in this topic, huh?
Some people love the ride. That's the truth be told. It surprised me, but some people they love the ride.
So they love drama.
All right.
You see,
Drama.
and it's like
Is that what you think?
They love drama. They can't live their life without drama.
So do you think having this type of topic is it wasted or is it needed?
Well, it's tough to say. It go both ways. Some people gonna find it as not needed. Some people gonna need it because they're going through it. It's 50-50. It's 50-50. Some people gonna be interested. Some people not. The ones that are gonna be interested is the ones that been through it or going through it, and the ones that's not just don't even care for real.
Okay. Well, there are some warning signs that I think um, whether male or female should look out for when you're starting a dating game and you want to start dating. Um, like Mr. OG said, I do believe that you should want to meet the parents. If you think that this might be something serious you get ready to go into, I truly believe you need to meet the parents. And it's not because um, you're appearing to be like, I'm ready to marry this person. It is because you get to see what you're going to be dealing with. Because 9 times out of 10, the apple don't fall far from the tree. It really does not. And you want to see how they interact with each other. If you meet a person that does not have a good relationship with their parents, for me, I would run. I would run because that's not what I would want in a relationship with a person having problems with their parents and they have a horrible relationship. That would not be a good fitting for me because now I will feel more compelled to feel sorry for the person I'm falling in love with, not knowing that whatever that's going on in that home is going to trickle down in our relationship. And I think people that have horrible relationships in family should work on that before they get out here and try to incorporate somebody else into their lives. That's what I think. Um, People that want to keep you to themselves and you cannot no longer have friendship outside of them, that's a warning sign. Um, because once they alienate you from your friends, then it will be from your family. And then before you know it, now they got you all to themselves. And now you're stuck in this relationship with them, doing any and everything to please them, to keep them happy. That to me sounds like as if someone needs a relationship to compensate what is lacking in them versus what should be complimenting them in a relationship. And we have a lot of hurt people, young people, getting into relationships because they lonely, they don't like themselves, they don't like their family, and they looking for someone where they can be that person and them against the world. Danger. That would be definitely danger for me because it can go down like a Romeo and Juliet type situation, and that could be bad. Or this person could now beat up on you because you're just like the family, you just like the other friends, and they only want somebody to love them unconditionally, but you can't give them but so much love. So that person I would run from too. What do you think, OG?
Well, it's never a perfect book for a relationship, but there's some good wisdom that a person that has been through and relationship, good or bad, that they can teach you. And I think it's good for somebody to older OG to give some wisdom to that young person that's still growing, um, before they really get into a serious relationship. So they will
Right.
hear this echo in their head. They will learn these tools here, or these advices, or this wisdom for uh, the future. When we know that will see a certain situation go on. You know what I'm saying? Let's say somebody's trying to alienate that person from their family. They
right,
done heard it from their mom saying, "Hey, my mom did say this." It's ringing in the back of their head, you know.
right,
Well,
right,
they heard like, well, let me meet the mom and dad. And when they meet the mom and dad, a light bulb hit, you know.
right,
But that's coming from we're teaching them a lot of wisdom, So
right.
um, even though it's not a perfect relationship, we could give them tools that will help them out in a relationship. I wish I had these
Right,
tools. You know what I'm saying?
right.
I wish I had
Yeah,
these tools.
yeah. I agree. I wish I had them too. Earlier on, I could have avoided some of the mischief of what I experienced unnecessarily, And I do get it sometimes. My young folks, they have a tendency of saying things like, um, well, I want to learn for myself. Sometimes you don't get the opportunity to come back to say, I learned, you know. Things can get
Right,
so horrific and you don't get that opportunity to heal from that learning experience. Some things can be so deep that it can mess you up for years to come. You know, so I encourage wisdom tips to young folks when they don't know. Um, it seems like sometimes it's pulling teeth to help them, but really in reality, like us OGs, um, we're not trying to harm, we're trying to help so they don't have to go through the madness that they're going to go through because they did not first dig within themselves, looking into a relationship to gain somebody else to come in that relationship, and now you got two people that's lost and found in the sense. Mr. Young G, what do you think about what we're saying so far?
Uh, sound good? Sound good.
There's no help. You can't speak on the behalf of our young folks.
Um, whew, listen, you got the guys and you got the girls, right? Two different
Yes,
standpoints, two different meanings. Majority
yes.
guys out here doing what they supposed to do. And majority girls out here ain't doing nothing but just throwing it everywhere. That's it. That's all there is to it. A girl, right? A guy go through something. They tell him, focus on yourself, lock in, get this right, get that right. A girl go through something. They're like, all right, go mess with Tyrone over here.
So you think just the young ladies are just being extra in the sexual department
If you ask me, I think it's
and
just
not you don't think the guys is doing as well? Because woof woof,
it's a lot
you
more
know,
women than guys.
huh?
There's a lot more women than guys that's doing like a lot of
There's a
trifling.
lot more women than guys. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah,
Okay, but that's for a different reason, though. We can have that topic on another note on why there's more women out here than men. Would you say, OG? That'll be a great topic on
No,
another
yeah, of
segment.
course. Those are facts. Those are
Yeah,
facts.
and it's with reason. It's for a reason, though. Am I correct?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So because there's more women than men, so you think that the women are a little bit too loose, Young G?
yeah. Well, I was saying that girls cheat more than guys. That's what I was saying.
Ooh, no, really?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
When did that change? OG, when did that change?
That's
Who would you say cheat more, men or women?
women.
Look, you're asking the OG.
OG.
Um, from my point of view, I think the men. That's what I've seen. Um, I think the women, they cut out too, and they feel like if the men can do it, damn it, they can do it too. You know, because
Mm.
the history has been that men has been hurt, have hurt women by cheating. You know, break up marriages, break up relationships, just because their sex drive. They put that first. That's their first priority. Um, in which they should have never got married. Or should have never got in a relationship. You know, if it was just about sex. So women over the years have seen that. They talked about that amongst each other, and damn it, they feel like they can do it too. They can do whatever a man can do. So now you see that out there now, and it's only because the women has been hurt or they have seen their mother has been hurt. You know, so
Yeah.
that's a negative experience that plays in, especially um, our black family. You know,
Okay. So would you say, Mr. Young G, would you say that when you say about women, females are more out there than the guys, can you understand where it now trickle from? Does that give you a little bit more understanding?
Uh, yeah,
there you go, Taji. There you go. There you go, TJ.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm pulling teeth over here. I kid you not, I'm pulling teeth. So if you feel like the women are doing that more, so that means like the roles have turned, would you say? I think. Um, I don't see that. I do see, let me be honest, I do think that women feel like they sick and tired of what men have been getting away with. And so from that, they have this counteract. But I hate to say that we are women, we're emotional creatures. And at the end of the day, we have emotions, something that majority of our men are just straight to the point, facts. So when we try to step in the shoes as like a man, no matter how you look at it, it don't look good as a young lady. It does not. So maybe that might be the reason why my young G can't even see to have a open conversation because he feels that these young ladies they out there too far out. Um, but at the end of the day, everyone is still looking to get into a relationship, whether
I know
it's
that.
friends with benefits type thing, or you looking for a long time, a committed relationship, or the ones that's looking for marriage. And I'm noticing people jumping head on into marriage depending upon how unhappy they are, um, if they're at home or far away from home. That's what I'm noticing. So, what would you say, Mr. Young G, if you could have the opportunity to say to these young ladies out here, speaking
Nothing to
from
say.
huh?
I don't got nothing to say.
I didn't hear you.
I don't have nothing to say about that topic. Like there's nothing for me to say. It is what it is. The car's gonna fall the way how they land. Just gotta.
Not necessarily true. That because to me it sounds like as if there's no hope, like as if you given up on the possibility of better relationships. No.
Uh, I'm still living my life, so it's really hard to say, right? See, that's not kind of like a. You ask me personally, um, I don't have nothing to really say to no young lady about a topic like that. It is what it is. The pieces gonna fall how they gonna fall. Get up, wipe off the dust. You keep it pushing, and you keep on living.
Some people can't get up after a bad
Ooh,
relationship.
they better figured it out.
Oh wow.
Tough it up. It's a tough road out here. It's gonna beat you to your knees and break every little thing you got. But you can't find a way to get up, man. I don't know. You gotta find a way to live.
I think this is
Oh wow.
TJ experience right now, Miss OG. This this is his experience
That's
right now.
the experience. So
Right.
his
Let me
heart
let
sound
me
cold.
yeah, let me add to the
Okay.
conversation. Um,
Okay.
I really think that young lady or that young male man needs to get to know themselves first before they get into a relationship, and they have to love themselves inside and out. They have to really um, learn every aspect about themselves spiritually, um, and physically too. And
It's 8 o'clock.
they really have to know themselves before they can get into a relationship, because they can't be confused, or they can't be like they want an element out of another person to make them whole. They need to behold themselves first,
Right.
you know.
Right.
So if they go into a relationship and they are confident within themselves, they're satisfied, they're happy about the pathway that they're going. It'll make it easier for that relationship once they deal with that person, you know, and it help them choose
Yeah.
the right person, you know,
Right.
that's for them
Yeah.
if they know themselves.
If they know themselves. But it was
Right.
a key thing that you said. Well, it was a topic that you said that I would like to touch base on right quick because we got about 3 minutes, and I'm going to close this out with this final thing. I agree with you totally. Love yourself, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be coming back with this because as we see the comments and everyone is commenting on what the questions they have for me, when people say, especially our OGs, child, you need to love yourself. Oh, you need to love yourself. You got to love yourself. But no one never said how to love yourself, and that's going to be my next topic another day. If anyone would like to know that information on how to love themselves, because it does start with self first. It really does, and it will make you a better person. So that way, when you enter into a relationship with someone, you already know what you want, what you don't want, and what you wouldn't stay into something that's toxic because you love yourself enough to know that that's not good for you. Um, I would like to thank both of you guys, OG and Young G, for your information, for your input. This is Talking Sharp After Dark. Um, we had a wonderful little dialogue right here, and we're going to do this again. This was our first interaction here, and we'll do it again. And as I read some of these comments, I'll come back and we'll give some answers, and we'll do this again tomorrow. I thank you guys, Mr. OG. I thank you, Mr. Young G. If there's anything that you got to say, you got about 2 minutes. I'm going to start with OG first to close it out. What would you like to say to our audience here?
I wish y'all young people the best through y'all travels in life, and just pray about everything that you do. Put God first.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And Young G, can you give us something nice? I know you can be quick. Could you be a little bit slower on the quick?
Uh, well, according to my calculations, you gotta figure yourself out by the end of the day. Moral of the story: figure yourself out. Take advantage of the opportunity you have because you only live life once. Make the best of your life in a positive way. Now, I ain't talking about being in strip clubs and doing all the other stuff, robbing banks and stuff like that. If that's your profession, then you do the best you can do. But you know what I'm saying. All right, see y'all later.
All right.
Okay.
Sound good.
One to one. That was phenomenal. We thank you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and we'll come back at you. We'll have this talk again. Thank you guys and good night. Talking sharp